life.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
The most potent force in the Republican Party is President Trump. We need Trump plus.
Unbelievable.
Antifa exists.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
We've ended the war on American energy. We were in war. And we've ended the war on beautiful, clean coal.
Get your words straight, Jack. I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election, and I never ceased from it. One was on restoring the soul of this country because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Everybody comes in, your grandmother,
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word. A kid coming from a very...
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. And they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name is Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Antifa exists.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the you know the thing.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Oh shit! Yes, it's real. Sure, yeah. Yes, it's real. Hello, folks, and welcome once again. I'm sorry. To Above It All 1175. This is April 12th, 2021. And we are here once again giving you the news. So that's that's what we're doing. So that's the happening. That's the haps. Oh. Anyway, so I apologize about that. Let's give a little bit of a warm welcome to Circle of Chains, Joe Chen Spalding, Guinea the Dragon, Gwolf, Matt, Dan, Abner, the LeBron James of Doom. That's stolen valor right there. That's what that is. That is some stolen valor. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Fun P. What's poppin', Aster? Hello, Nick Lass. Hello, Joshua. Hello, Rialon. Hello, Sure Yif. Hello, Depth Nas. Hello, Non-Applicable. How's it going? Hello. Hello, Edwin. Hello, Joes. Hello, Jay Nez. Hello, Lauren. Relatives were hit and run with an infant on oxygen in the car. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Yeah, it turns out I can just say shit on the internet that isn't true. Amazing. That is amazing. That really is, like, it's impressive is what it is. That's awesome. So we got some news here, folks. And I'm probably going to get into it this time. I know. There's so much. Like, what do I talk about? Like, fuck. You know, like, fuck, right? This is, like, just one of those days that's just, like, just really uncomfortable. Like, everything that's happened and transpired, that I like, have on my little note sheet is just extremely uncomfortable. But I'm gonna, you know, that's what I do here, so. I make people uncomfortable. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'll do the Glenn Greenwald thing later. That'll happen later in the show. But it will happen. Glenn Greenwald blocked me, for those of you that don't know. I've been blocked. I've been censored in the battlefield of ideas. I'll get into that one later, though. Because there are more pressing things that need to occur, no less. Yeah, so let's talk about this one. So how about this one first? This is, like, you know, no particular order, but, like, Jesus Christ, right? Like, there's, like, so much shit I need to. I guess I don't need to. I guess there's no, like, you know, necessary part of this. Please don't do that. I guess there's no necessary part of this. Like, I could just turn the stream off and, like, you know, go jerk off or something. But this is what I do. I do live streams every morning. So I might as well. I missed Sunday Runday yesterday. That's a shame. New news. Yeah, they keep coming out with some stuff. Just keeps coming. Meow. Agreed. Maybe one day he'll email you back. Should I just email Glenn Greenwald and say, hey, I noticed you blocked me on Twitter. Does that mean this? Does that mean our conversation? Should I do that? Should I play, like, patty cake? You know, at least attempt to. Many new friends joining us today. I love new friends. It's an honor to be blocked by Greenwald. Thank you. I mean, it's something. It's certainly something. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. Dan Perry. Didn't I already say hello to you? I'm pretty sure I did. How's it going? You should power move email him. Yes, do that. Okay, when I do the Glenn Greenwald segment later in the show, remind me, because then I'll, like, do it live in the video. All right, folks. So there's some bull ass motherfucking shit going on, and we're gonna discuss. So that's the idea. And if you don't like the idea of discussing bull ass motherfucking shit, then that's a shame, because that's what we're gonna do. So I want to remind everyone of something that Donald Trump said in the year 2020. It was a pretty hectic year. A lot of things happened in 2020. And one of the things that hasn't been talked about nearly enough is when Donald Trump ordered an assassination on an American citizen and then bragged about it on live television. So let's watch this little clip. And the New York Times released a video of their investigation into what happened with the shooting of Michael Ryanel. But so here's this little 20-second snippet of Donald Trump just being obnoxious.
2.5 days went by, and I put out, when are you going to go get him? And the U.S. Marshals went in to get him. And in a short period of time, they ended in a gunfight. This guy was a violent criminal. A lot of them out there. And the U.S. Marshals killed him. And I will tell you something, that's the way it has to be. There has to be retribution when you have crime like this.
So what was the crime? Now, this is way more interesting in context post-Capitol siege. But, okay, so what was the crime? Shooting and killing a Trump supporter, right? Now, is that a crime? I mean, I don't know. Like, was the Trump supporter attacking him? It certainly seemed like that in the video that was released. Because when this occurred, I made a video. Not to make the story about me, of course, but I made a video of, like, going through all the little snippets of when that dude was shot and killed by Michael Ryanel. And it looks like he was instigating. Now, does that mean that shooting and killing him is self-defense? Maybe. I don't know. So, like, there's no way to investigate that. That's the thing, is if you think it might be self-defense, what you do is you wait for an investigation and you determine what the cause and reasoning behind the shooting was. All right, great. So what Donald Trump decided to do was put out a hit, right? Put out a hit on this guy and the U.S. Marshals went in and assassinated an American citizen, which is unconstitutional. So the New York Times decided to put out an investigatory report, and I'm going to watch this little video that they've got here. It's put on HD. We're going to watch the New York Times in HD, folks. So this is what they've got. I'll read it later as well if the video isn't good enough and has, needs me to read it. But I watched like half of this. It seems pretty cool. Let's kick it on. But again, I want to remind everyone, this guy is accused of killing one person. One person. Now, I want to remind everyone about the mass shootings that we have had recently. There's been some mass shootings where people literally will drive to a building, kill everyone, drive like 10 miles away. We're talking about Atlanta here, I think, in Georgia. All right? And then kill people at another building, right? And then just get arrested. Not shot and murdered on the spot. No. They just get, hands cuffed. They're in custody now. Right? So it's like, what? Like, what? Okay. This guy, on the other hand, kills one person, debatably in self-defense, says it was in self-defense, is assassinated because the president said so. So I want to just put that that really makes you think.
Michael Reinell was on the run. He had been named as the suspect in the killing of a right-wing demonstrator in Portland and had fled to Lacey, Washington, a suburb of Olympia. On September 3rd, he is staying here in an apartment authorities say belongs to Nate Dingus.
Now I just want to say, is fleeing the scene of a crime a smart idea? No! But, given the fact that this guy was gunned down in the street like an animal, right, given the fact that they just went in and tried to assassinate him, can you blame him for running away? Like, seriously. Like, seriously, can you blame this motherfucker for trying to lay low? Like, this guy, probably knew that, oh shit, I just did something that's, probably gonna end either with me in prison for the rest of my life or shot in the street. Probably not even necessarily running from the police, but just running from Trump-supporting militias, which are really, really popular and have a lot of numbers in the Oregon-Washington area in the Northwest, right? So it's this guy was scared for his life. And again, he was assassinated not by a pro-Trump militia, not by white supremacists, not by neo-Nazis, just kidding. All of the above. I'm talking about the U.S. Marshals. I'm talking about the police, right? So I just want to be very clear here. Is running from the scene of a crime a good idea? Probably not in most contexts, but in this context, the guy knew that, hey, maybe I'll be assassinated for this, and he was right, so he got the fuck out of there.
It's just after 6:50 p.m., and Reinell begins the 100-foot walk to his Volkswagen station wagon. U.S. Marshals, alongside officers from local agencies, are parked in several nearby vehicles, including here, watching his movements. Reinell is only carrying a cell phone and a bag in his hands, says Dingus, who is watching from the parking lot. As Reinell reaches his car, two unmarked vehicles speed toward him. The SUVs stop a foot from the Volkswagen's bumper, boxing it in. Four officers jump out. The officers claim that they shout, "Stop, police." But Dingus and four other eyewitnesses, who are standing here, here, and here, say they don't hear the officers shout any warnings or commands before firing.
So I covered this a little bit. Is the volume too loud? Is it too low? When you say volume in the chat room, I have no idea what that means. That you might as well say doorknob. It doesn't have any. there's no meaning there. But anyway, I covered some stories in the weeks afterward. Too low? All right, I'll bump it up. Thank you. I covered some stories after this happened that said that there were eyewitnesses that basically said whatever the cops were saying, not real. Fake news, folks. The cops are all lying to you. Now, again, we know that the cops are legally not allowed to lie, right? They're not just allowed to lie. They are compelled to lie. They are compelled. They are obligated to lie. So not only... right? It's not like it's an option. It's not like it's a tool in the toolbox, right? It's not like it's oh, well, I could lie. I could, do this. I could do that. I could do a cartwheel. No. It's I will lie. And then after I lie, I will do literally everything else because that's what they are do. They are obligated to lie at all costs. So I'm just saying. So hopefully the volume's a little bit better, but let's backtrack and move on.
Standing here, here, and here. Say they don't hear the officers shout any warnings or commands before firing. In the statements they've provided to investigators, officers have given differing accounts. One officer claims he sees Reinell, inside the car, raise something that looks like a weapon. But 2 other officers say only that Reinel makes, quote, furtive movements toward the center console. They open fire, and bullets pierce the driver's side of the Volkswagen's windshield, hitting Reinel, according to investigators. The bullet casings are visible here, just a few feet away. A 911 dispatch conveys the chaos of the scene.
People are running all over, saying they heard about 5 or 6 shots. There are a possible 10 subjects outside right now. Just for information, this may be the U.S. Marshals.
Reinel is wounded, but he manages to flee the Volkswagen.
I love that dispatch, by the way.
Officers
Like, yeah, this might be the U.S. Marshals. Like, I don't know. Okay, so a police officer is calling, right, you know, to let everyone know that there's a shooting and there's a bunch of people. Yeah, it could be the U.S. Marshals. They didn't tell us. We don't know what's going on, but it could be. I mean, I don't know. Like, what? Like, what kind of communication? And then these motherfuckers can't even get their story straight. They both tell, like, competing versions of what happened. It's like, oops. Right? It's like, but seriously. And again, did anything happen to these cops? Do we know who these cops' names even are? Maybe we do. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it's revealed later. I didn't keep up with this after, like, the following, like, 2 months. But, the idea that they just didn't coordinate at all is just like, and they got away with it. Like, these are all people, like, no one cares. No one cares. Like, literally. Again, I want to remind everyone, Donald Trump issued an execution and assassination of an American citizen on American soil and bragged about it on live television. Like, what? And no one cares. I just, like, that to me is bizarre. It really was bizarre how this story just disappeared. It dis-fucking-peared. Because when this happened, I was like, holy shit, man. Like, we are in, like, some really scary times here. And then no one cared. So, like, I'm glad that the New York Times released this investigation video, because it's important that this stuff is documented.
Outside right now. Just for information, this may be the U.S. Marshals.
It may be. I mean, we don't know.
He's wounded,
could be.
But he manages to flee the Volkswagen. Officers continue to fire. Reinel steps from behind a truck and into the street. One officer claims that Reinel raises a handgun, but other officers say that Reinel only reaches toward his pocket. A 5th officer arrives here.
Again, alright, so your job. What is your job, right? Like, you know, you're in the fucking, like, car as you're driving. Alright, your mission is to assassinate this motherfucker so the Fuhrer, so Donald Trump can like us and talk about us on TV tomorrow? Right, so that's your job. And then these motherfuckers don't even get, like, they don't even do it right. Like, they just, like, yeah, he might have had a gun. I didn't see a gun, but I saw it, but he totally had a gun, bro. No, he didn't have a gun. I don't know, like...
this area and opens fire along with the others. Reinel falls. None of the eyewitnesses on the street has a clear view. According to investigators, 4 officers fired their weapons around 30 times. Investigators won't say how many times Reinel was shot. But the Times visited the scene and reviewed dozens of videos and images. We found that at least 8 bullets hit civilian property. Some of them flew right by.
So again, remember when Breonna Taylor was shot and killed, and then remember what the trial that occurred, right? Oh yeah. So the guy who killed Breonna Taylor, he's all good. He's fine. He's a great guy. He's great. He's really good at darts. He's a wonderful guy. He's an awesome father. I love that guy. I love him. In fact, we're gonna go hang out tomorrow. I love that guy. Right? But some other guy got charged with, quote, like, wanton endangerment because he tried to shoot Breonna Taylor and was such an idiot that he missed and shot into someone else's apartment. Remember that? Are any of the cops here being charged? Like, again, like, okay, so we've established, right, you can just kill people for no reason if you're police. But if you accidentally shoot someone else, right, if you shoot someone else on accident, well, then that's a problem. Then we can charge you. Are any of these people being charged? Do I even know, like, what? Who are they? Like, I'm so confused. Like, okay, so you can shoot people's houses. You can shoot, like, several people's houses. That's great. That's wonderful. As long as you successfully assassinate the American citizen on American soil. What?
But the Times visited the scene and reviewed dozens of videos and images. We found that at least 8 bullets hit civilian property. Some of them flew right by 8-year-old Silas Lewis, who'd been riding his bike in the road. Others blew out the windows of a nearby car. At least 5 bullets hit the wall and the fence of Angel Romero's home.
So are these cops in jail for wanton endangerment, or is that only a law in Kentucky? Like, what's going on here? Like, you almost shoot an 8-year-old. Oh, whoops, I didn't know the 8-year-old was there. How about instead of shooting a motherfucker 30 times, instead of doing that, maybe you just try to apprehend them? Maybe? Maybe? I'm so confused at this. Like, this is bizarre.
One went through his dining room, nearly hitting his brother. Officers say they find a .380 caliber handgun in the right front pocket of Reinell's pants, his hand on or near the weapon. Though police never contend that Reinell fired a weapon, inside the Volkswagen, they find a bullet casing matching that handgun's caliber. Investigators say it could be up to 3 months before crime lab results can prove whether that bullet casing actually matches Reinell's gun. But they also say there is no other evidence that Reinell fired at the officers.
Okay, so, now, the casing... Okay, so this guy's got a gun, and there is a casing for that gun found in his car. Now, I'm not an expert here, right? But, is it possible that maybe, that casing was, there for some other context or purpose? It's possible, right? Is it possible he shot at the cops? Maybe. But does that make the cops shooting at an 8-year-old across the street acceptable under any circumstance? No! The cops, these are not even just cops. These are, U.S. Marshals, whatever the fuck that means, right? This is some, elite hit squad, an assassination. This is what this is a private paramilitary assassination squadron. That's what that is. Right? And you're telling me, right, okay, they're elite, trained, militiamen, right? Michael Ryan's just some dude with a gun. You're telling me, 5 elite fucking hyper-militarized, dumb motherfuckers, right? You're telling me those motherfuckers can't get a good shot on them? The people that dedicate their entire fucking lives to shooting people and killing them with efficiency? Those people accidentally almost kill an 8-year-old? And what if they did kill an 8-year-old? Maybe then this story wouldn't have disappeared from the fucking news cycle in 2 days. But, Jesus Christ, man.
There is no other evidence that Reinell fired at the officers.
Anyway, so that's the video. You can read the article version if you want. I think the video did a good job. But again, I just the idea that this just disappeared from public consciousness to me is just absolutely bizarre. There's a through line here of Donald Trump successfully assassinates the top general for Iran, right? And then gets away with it. He just gets away with it. It's just all right. Cool. And he probably learned that. He probably learned that from the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, MBS, just assassinating a journalist and just getting away with it. All right, cool. All right, no one cares anymore about Khashoggi. All right, awesome, perfect. And then Donald Trump was like, damn, that's a good idea. Let me try that. And then he tries to assassinate fucking generals, right? Almost calls World War III. And he's like, oh, I got away with it? And nothing happened? There was no impeachment hoax? They didn't try to okay, awesome. I'll just do this with American citizens. Pop, brags about it on television. Again, I want to replay this clip here. This is so, he literally bragged about it on television the next day in a big exclusive Fox News interview. He's like, yeah, I did it. Hell yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, what did he do? I don't know. I forgot.
5 days went by, and I put out, when are you going to go get him? And the U.S. Marshals went in to get him. And in a short period of time, they ended in a gunfight. This guy was a violent criminal.
A lot of them out there.
And the U.S. Marshals killed him. And I will tell you something. That's the way it has to be. There has to be retribution.
It's crazy. Donald Trump is just a fucking crazy person. He's a crazy person. The cops are crazy. The U.S. Marshals are crazy. Now, again, I say this all the time. But these motherfuckers all need to be sent to prison rest of their lives. I'm serious about that. If you decide to, in this current climate, in this time in the United States of America, become a cop, and when you become a cop and you actually go out and start shooting people and you have a body count, at that point, as far as I'm concerned, there is no rehabilitation. When you start killing people, when you start actually ending people's lives en masse, sorry, buddy. As far as I'm concerned, let's throw you in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean. You are useless to society. But I'll compromise at jail. And so, and that's the thing. And, I really don't understand how this disappeared from the public consciousness. He just assassinated an American citizen bragged about it on TV. There was no impeachment. Nothing happened. Like, I get it. Like, and again, this is a whole different thing with the Capitol siege. Like, they impeached him over the Capitol siege. Great. There is more evidence that he directed an assassination on an American citizen than there is that he incited a riot at the Capitol. And I'm just saying, and I think he did both. For reference, I think he did both. But the way that they described the way he incited the riot, there is literally more evidence in that same, like, what they were going for, that he ordered an assassination of this American citizen. He literally admits to it. Like, this is the smoking gun. This tape here, this 20-second video is the smoking gun. He admits to it live on national fucking television. He just said, yep, I did this. They did it. I'm proud, and I love it. And it's, like, I just like, what? Like, again, on national television, it's the smoking gun. This would be like on January 7th. He comes on TV. Yeah, I told everyone to storm the Capitol, and you know what? It's the way it has to be. It's the same thing. It's the same shit. If you like look at these in any sort of analogous like situation, it's the same shit. How is he not impeached for this? How is he? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? I'm serious. I'm serious. It is some crazy shit. It is getting a little hot in here. I have to turn the air conditioner on. And so anyway, and I'm a little hot and bothered by the orange man. Oh my god. But again, I really, like, this is like, I think that this is like one of the biggest possible events of the Trump administration. Personally, as far as I'm concerned, and the idea that no one talks about it anymore, and maybe people will start talking about it again. Maybe this New York Times article is gonna, get more, talking about this, but this was the like quintessential part of the Trump administration in regards to the absolute state of this country. The absolute fucking state of this country. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus. And again, these are the same people. The same people that support the killing of Michael Ryanel. Oh, I mean, someone was shot at a traffic stop last night. I don't know. Maybe it was a good idea. Well, let's wait for the investigation. Right, those same people that are like, Donald Trump became president. He's powerful. He's strong. Are the same people who are like, I don't know, the cops might have been wrong, but, they're probably right, so let's wait for the investigation. And then, like, in the case of George Floyd, the trial happens, and then they just like, oh no, even though everything I'm saying has been debunked, he totally had fentanyl in his system, right? Yeah, he died of a fentanyl. I mean, everything I'm saying has been debunked for literally years, but hey, whatever. He might have overdosed. Who knows, bro? We can't tell. By the way, Donald Trump ordering police to kill an American citizen, that's awesome. That's great. I really don't understand. And these are the same people that cry and whine when the FBI sends them to jail over the Capitol riot. Like, I went to the Capitol for my president and the cops arrested me. Boo-hoo, I hate the cops. They're cucks. They're like, what? Like, these people are crazy, man. You have to understand the brain of a fascist is not logical. You cannot use logic on the brain of a fascist because it won't work. If the fascist says someone I disagree with is dead, awesome. Someone I agree with is in trouble, not awesome. It doesn't matter. There is no logical consistency. There is no through line other than, is it someone I agree with? If so, I don't care. Is it someone I disagree with? If so, that's awesome. Awesome. We got to do it again. And that's why these people that went to Portland that day that involved, that got shot by Michael Ryanel, the people that went to Portland that day were using bear mace and pepper balls and just shooting at random fucking American civilians. A lot of people had nothing to do with politics. They were apolitical, just walking to work or something, and they get shot in the head with a pepper ball by a Trump supporter. So can you really blame Michael Ryanel for shooting like Jay Bishop? Not really. Not really. I'm just saying, like, if you have that context, these people running through the streets shooting fucking, like, paint guns and pepper balls at random people, bear macing random civilians, if you have evidence of that and some guy is walking toward you with a fucking like pepper spray in his hand, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. And I guess we'll never know because there is no investigation. So that's that segment. Yeah, so I'm going to turn the air conditioner on because it's like hot in here. So, just, give me a sec. Lord have fucking mercy. God damn it. Fuck. Let me know how the sound of the air conditioner is, by the way, because I'm like genuinely curious. Max the dog. Hello. Hey, bud. You want to get on the bed? On the bed, on the bed. Everybody, I introduce to you Max, the motherfucking dog. You ready? Maxie, over here. You can climb. You're allowed. Look at this. You can't see this dog. This is like behind the scenes. I can see this dog, but you can't. Come on, Maxie. Come on. Put your paws on the blanket. It's okay. He's afraid. Oh, those are your paw. Your paw's on my leg. Folks, it's Max the dog. Isn't this dog amazing? Isn't he just like the best thing in the world? Like, I can't with this shit, man. I literally, like I can't. Like, like, what am I supposed to do here? Oh my god, you got my fucking hair all wet. This motherfucking dog drooled into, like, a strand of my hair. Anyway. Yes. Reminder to like the goddamn stream, folks. It's required. By the way, can someone tell me how the sound of the air conditioner is? I'm curious. Is it audible? Is it loud? What's going on here, folks? Someone provide me the scoop. It's not loud, it's fine. Sounds good. No comment, barely audible. That's like the best possible scenario. Pretty good. I'm just checking Twitter, seeing if there's any scoops. You know what I mean? I'm a scoop hunter. You know, I hunt for them. I just, you know, have my nose to the ground. That's why I got Max, so we can go look for scoops. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could fix that with a noise filter. Personally, I don't care. I'm just saying, that's not the style of production that I do here, the LeBron James of Doom. You know, you could fix that with a noise filter. This motherfucker coming into my goddamn motherfucking stream telling me that I can fix the Fix implies that it's broken. It implies that the stream is non-functional. It implies that this is not fully intended. Now again, if the air conditioner was like maybe I would consider a noise filter, perhaps, but that is not the world that we live in at this current moment in time. That is untrue. That is not where we are right now. So why do you even ask us about the audio levels? It's more so because I want to know. It's not like I just want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I have no intent on fixing anything. I just want to know. I'm a curious person. I'm inquisitive. What can I say? When you screeched, my cat freaked out. Oh, fuck. Imagine Andrea caring about audio levels. Could you wait for it? If this is potentially uncomfortable for you, I'm giving you a 5-second warning to lower your volume.
Unbelievable.
Whoops, my gain filter was still on from the previous segment. My apologies, everybody. Anyway, with that being said, it's been said. All right, I have nothing else. Anyway, I do have something else actually, and it's not good. So, just dropped a big steamy comment on Jimmy Dore's AOC conspiracy video. He's got another one. Holy shit. Gain Lil. More like Lil Gain. That's correct. Super Gain. Oh my god. Motherfucker. Alright, so I don't know where to begin with this next one. It's kind of kind of a disaster, to be honest. You didn't count down either. I know, that was part of the joke. It was part of the joke. Or was it? Right? Right? You know? Maybe it was. I don't know. So this next segment, this is a segment, is what this is. So this is, I'm not going to be playing any videos, of violence. I know that there are some. But I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, so in Minneapolis, there was a shooting, an officer involved shooting. There was a shooting with an officer involved, whatever the fuck that means. The police killed someone for presumably, and what it seems like, no reason. And so I've got an article here from Kiro7.com. This is local news. And so I'm going to read this. Now, I don't know a lot of the information here yet. There's a lot of stuff coming out about this. This happened last night. And so I just want to let you know, anything I say here, there may be updates in the coming hours. There may be changes. There may be additional information. But this is just one article I've got right now. And this is a primer. So, from Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis, a police officer shot and killed a black man during a traffic stop Sunday in a Minneapolis suburb, sparking a short-lived clash between police and social justice activists several hours later. The idea, there's a short-lived clash. Like, I hate this sentence. Between police and social justice activists. Like, imagine, so this article is by Kelly Dugan, Natalie Dreyer, and the Cox Media Group, national content. Interesting. Right? Imagine typing that sentence out. I'm serious about this. Like, imagine you see, all right, what is the story about? Oh, the cops murdered another black person for no reason. All right, how do I spin this one? Well, there was a short-lived clash between police and, oh, I know, social justice activists. So anyone that disagree, now again, and that's also just running off the back of like social justice being like a boogie word. It's like, ooh, social justice, that's scary, right? The idea that if the cops shoot and kill someone, anyone reacting to that is a social justice activist. I'm sorry, man, but that's called being a fucking moron. That's bogus, right? Not every single person that shows up to protest police brutality is a social justice activist, right? But it's just like a way to scare people. People think SJW bad, right? And so somehow, right? Like, that's in an article. It's in the first fucking goddamn paragraph. It's in the first sentence. In the first fucking sentence, man. It's crazy. These people are fucking idiots. But anyway, let's move on. According to a news release issued by the Brooklyn Center Police Department, officers executing a traffic stop. Interesting word choice. Just before 2 p.m. learned that the driver had an outstanding warrant. As officers attempted to take the suspect into custody, the driver re-entered his vehicle, and one of the officers fired their weapon, striking the driver. Okay, so now I'm a cop, and I've got a bunch of cops around me. We all have, like, fucking super shields, right? We have, like, body armor. We've got, like, guns strapped to our fucking ding-dongs, right? We've got, like, everything under the sun to apprehend the suspect. We've got pepper spray. We got all that shit, right? So what do we do when a suspect turns around? Oh, I know. We just kill him. What? Like, what? There's nothing else you could do? You can't, like, grab their arm or something? I mean, and that's, like, let's be honest, right? Like, you're trying to apprehend someone, you don't want to be killed, right? You're a cop, you're looking out for you want to see your family at home tonight, right? This guy could be going in there to get a gun, right? So, like, all right, grab his arm, right? Like, the idea that, oh, it's a traffic stop, let me pull out my gun. It's like, what? Like, I'm so confused at this scenario. Oh, it's a traffic stop, let me get my gun ready. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's bizarre to me. It's strange. Brooklyn Center is located on the northwest border of Minneapolis. Update, 7:08 a.m. That's a couple hours ago. The Minnesota National Guard was deployed last night after crowds of people gathered to protest. Crowds of people or social justice activists? You're mixing up your wording here. Maybe someone else wrote this part. This is an addition, so maybe... Oh, are they crowds of people or social justice activists? I wonder. Hundreds of people marched to the Brooklyn Center Police Department earlier in the evening. CARE recorded a video of about 100 people gathering at the crash site and trying to damage police vehicles. Oh, no! Yeah, sure, the cops just murdered someone for no reason, but oh, the window for my cop car! How are we gonna replace the window? Yeah, sure, we killed someone who's dead. They're not, like, in a coma. They're not in the hospital. They're dead now. They're gone. Like, they're not gonna come back. But how do we replace the window? Like, these fucking stupid fucking cuck crybaby losers, man. Like, Jesus Christ. A second group of protesters went to a nearby mall where 20 businesses were broken into. Good. The city's mayor had ordered a curfew through 6 a.m. Monday after being, like, imagine being the mayor. Hey, Mr. Mayor, the cops killed another black man. What do we do? And your response isn't, maybe I guess we should just abolish the fucking police or something. No, your response is, I'm gonna call the National Guard. The social justice activists are on their way right now. The mentality here of people that decide, the social justice activists they're triggered because we killed someone for no reason again. I'm mad. Why are the social justice activists so mad? Like, it's my lord. According to police who have not identified the shooting victim, the victim's name is Dante Wright. The vehicle traveled several blocks after the driver was shot before crashing. Life-saving measures were performed at the scene were unsuccessful, and the man died, a news release stated. So Wright's mother, Katie Wright, told CARE that her son called as he was being pulled over to request insurance information for the vehicle, which she already had recently given him. She said when she called back a minute later that his girlfriend, the passenger, answered and told her that Dante Wright had been shot. So imagine, your child calls you, hey, do you know where the insurance paperwork is? I got pulled over on the way home. Is it in the glove box? Like, where is that? And you're like, I gave it to you. It's somewhere. Just look for it. And then you call back a minute later. Yeah, your kid's dead. Thinking about that is just disgusting to me. So we got a video here from their mother, and I want to play that. So.
Then I heard the police officer come to the window and say, put the phone down and get out of the car. And Dante said, why? And he said, we'll explain to you when you get out of the car. So I heard the phone get either put on the dashboard or dropped. And I heard scuffling, and I heard the police officer say, Dante, don't run. And then the other officer said, put the phone down, and hung it up. And then a minute later, I called, and his girlfriend answered, which was the passenger in the car, and said that he'd been shot. And she put it on the driver's side, and my son was laying there lifeless. And then I said, where are you? And she said, I don't know. And the other officer said, hang up the phone. She hung up the phone.
Now, I want to be very clear here, and the video's over. There have been so many videos of people recording fatal police encounters, and cops always, every single time, why are you recording on your phone? Put the phone down. Why do you got your phone on? What do you do? What are you recording? There's nothing to see here. Yeah, sure, we just shot your boyfriend, but why are you recording us? Why are you on the phone? Like Jesus Christ, you know why they're afraid of phones, right? Because they don't want to be caught in the scene of a crime. And again, even in the case of George Floyd, where Derek Chauvin is literally filmed killing someone, they're still going to pretend like they didn't do it. They will always lie. Like I said earlier, cops are not, lying is not an option for a police officer. It's not like, I guess I could lie here. I mean, I only lie maybe 10% of the time, just sometimes if something. Maybe I lie every once in a while. No, it's not an option in the toolbox. It is, and like I said earlier, a compulsion. It is an obligation. They have to lie. They lie every single step of the process. When you call 911 to report a crime, chances are the person on the other end will lie to you later, right? That's why it's important to record dispatch calls. It's important to record 911 calls. They'll lie about it. You're on a cell phone. Again, Derek Chauvin is on video murdering someone. Now, again, what did they do when they killed George Floyd? They immediately put out a press release saying, oh yeah, we didn't have body cameras. They didn't exist. The guy was high on drugs. He was doing crimes, and he died of an overdose or something. And then they realized, oh shit, wait a second. That video is on the internet. Oh, wait. Uh-oh, we can't be caught doing lies over and over again. But no one really mentions that, the police report that was publicized in the press statement immediately after George Floyd was killed was full of lies. Everyone just forgot about that. Oh yeah, he was overdosing on drugs. There were no body cameras. And then literally the video that's now viral of George Floyd being killed, the guy's wearing a body camera. And I can go on about other examples of cops lying. They lie all the motherfucking time. They literally are born and bred to be liars. They are pathological liars. They are trained in the training process. They are trained to lie. Their friends lie to them on a daily basis. They lie for them on a daily basis. They lie. They never fucking stop lying. So again, that's why they don't want you to have your cell phone. By Sunday night, several hundred people, are they people or social justice activists? Come on, you're changing up the language here. Had gathered near the scene of the shooting with protesters pushing back police tape to confront riot gear-clad officers, the Star Tribune reported. As you can see, there's some photographs there. At around 7:15 p.m., police fired non-lethal rounds to disperse the crowd after protesters broke the windshields of 2 patrol cars. Oh no! They broke the windshield. Yeah, sure, we just murdered someone for no reason and are beating the shit out of protesters, causing permanent brain injury, causing bruising, damage, bone breaking for people that probably don't have health insurance in the middle of a pandemic, but they broke our windshield. The female passenger was transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries related to the car crash, the news release said. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, what the fuck is that, is investigating the shooting. And they come up with these bizarre names. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is and then you know why they come up with that. You know why that whole group exists, right? It's so that in the news people will go old, we're talking about boomers here. They'll read the news, they get their glasses on, they go oh well, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating the shooting. I guess everything is okay. That's why they do that. That's why else would you have a fucking the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal what does that mean? It literally doesn't mean anything. What the fuck is that? And it could be a good organization. I literally don't know. I'm sorry, but what is that? That's just fucking so many shitty words. And the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. I seriously have no idea what that means. They didn't apprehend anybody. They shot and killed someone. What? Who? Are you apprehending the criminal cops? Who's being apprehended here? I don't understand. And police officials told CARE that it is believed both dash cameras and officer-issued body cameras were activated during the shooting. So wait for that to come out. Sunday's shooting comes during the ongoing trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the May 2020 killing of George Floyd. Again, I think this motherfucker being charged for unintentional murder is ridiculous. I understand higher burden of proof. I get it, unintentional murder. But you do not put your knee on someone's fucking airways for 8 minutes and think, oh, well, I didn't know. If I had a gun and then shot up a shopping mall and then say, well, oh, I didn't know. It was unintentional. I didn't know that they would die. Sure, I shot them sometimes in the face, but I didn't know that they would die. I just wanted to do damage. It was unintentional. But and then no, that would never work with me. It would never in a million years work because I'm not a cop. So if I go to cop school and become a cop, I wonder if I could become a cop. Are you allowed to be a cop while you're trans? Is that possible? I should do a reality TV show where I try to become a cop while being trans and see what happens. Anyway, if you're a cop, yeah, you can just shoot unintentional. I didn't mean it. Sorry. Yeah, sure, I shot him in the face. Didn't mean it. Sorry, it was an accident. I shot them literally in the brain, but I was just anticipating them surviving. I didn't know that they would die. I just don't under-fucking-stand. I just don't under-fucking-stand how someone leaning on someone's fucking neck for 8 minutes is unintentional murder. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? And this whole situation is a disaster. It's a fucking shit show. And again, like I said before, these cops, if you kill people, if you are someone that goes out there and murders other people, right, I'm sorry, go the fuck to jail, right? Like, no one's interested in you. You're not, like, you're a crazy person. You show up at a party and everyone's like, oh, that guy's here, right? Like, nobody likes you. You're a pariah. You're a freak. You should be traveling in a circus with freaks jumping through flaming hoops. You're a fucking freak show, dude. You should be in a circus. You should be like walking on a tightrope, and then underneath is like a pit of spikes. That's what we should do with cops. Personally, I think we should all put them through the freak contest. Go to a local circus, get a giant bed of spikes, have them walk across a tightrope. Why not? Right? If they fall down, they die. Great. Have fun. And if they get to the other side, we'll make them jump through a flaming hoop or something. We'll keep going until they fall and die to their doom. Because that's what I'm sorry. Like, I just like don't like cops. Like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little bit too heavy. But like, I'm just I'm a comedian, by the way. Me very explicit for the algorithm. I am a comedian. I'm boisterous. I'm hyperbolic. Right? I'm talking about a circus here. Obviously, I'm not being serious. Right? But again, like, this whole situation, cops going out there killing people, it's ludicrous, it's ridiculous, and of course they're not going to be held accountable. And even if Derek Chauvin is held accountable, what about all the other cops that are murdering people on a daily basis? This happens every single day. Cops are murdering people, right? So mass shooters, white mass shooters, can go out there, murder people, and the cops just bring him in. Oh, he's a great guy. Well, let's go grab some Burger King on the way to the station. I'm hungry, right? That's great. Right, that's wonderful, right? Someone at a traffic stop, get the gun, we got it, like I just don't understand. I just clearly there's like a misunderstanding. Either these are aliens occupying, like if you were to told me that like this is like an invasion of the body snatchers scenario where like all the cops are secretly aliens, like all the politicians are aliens that like took the form of humans to like, you know, corrupt our civilization and make us nuke ourselves or something, I would buy it, because why the fuck are cops allowed to exist? I seriously don't understand how we haven't abolished the fucking police already. Like, what are we doing, bitch? Like, this shit, like, the police started as slave patrols. Like, these police literally have slave patrol bullshit in their fucking logos. They've got neo-Nazi iconography in their logos. Look at the Los Angeles Police Department, man. Like, these motherfuckers are out of control. Like, they're crazy, man. They're out of control. And yet, I don't know, man. I have nothing else to say. It's a disaster. It's a shit show, and it's disgusting and should not have happened. And again, these police officers need to be held accountable. They need to go to prison for the rest of their lives. Absolutely. And it doesn't end there, folks. I got like another cop-related story. I've been like, I was going to cover that one yesterday, but like the good vibes yesterday were pretty good. I didn't want to ruin it, but we already have bad vibes today, so. Old people still think cops prevent crime. Old people are dumb as fuck. Like, they're just dumb. If you think cops are good, you are an idiot. I'm sorry. There is no if. There is no and. There is no, oh, well, I was raised in a different time. No. You are a fucking moron. Like, you might as well be fucking, like, you know, doing, like, fucking, I don't know, like, seriously. Like, I can't think of a proper analogy here, but if you think cops were ever actually, like, you know, trying to protect and serve, you're dumb. You're stupid. You're just a stupid person. And you might be thinking, oh, that's a white people thing. I'm white. I've hated cops my whole fucking life. They're garbage. I had, like throughout my fucking, like, childhood, I had cops constantly harass me in my house. They, like, would pull up to me as I was walking home because, you know, it's a long story, but needless to say, the cops did not like my mother. They did not get along. And so they were constantly harassing my family as a child, and for no reason. And so it's like, what the fuck? I lived in a small town, so it was like one of those situations where if the cop knows you, and I don't know the full story. I mean, like, maybe like the cop had a crush on my mom and she rejected them or something like 10 years ago. I don't know. I was like fucking 8, right? But, like, I would constantly have, like, the same cop, like, harassing my fucking house, like, as a child. And it's like, what? That's creepy. It's strange, right? Like, it's crazy. And so, like, you know, from that point on, I've always hated cops. I've had cops sexually harass me. I've had cops, like, deny that, like, any wrongdoing happened. And, like, you know, I don't want to go into full details here. I don't want to, like, you know, give my whole life story. But needless to say, I fucking hate cops. Not a huge fan. Let me just tell you, I'm not a huge fan. I am biased, as they say. In high school, I thought about being a small-town cop because I didn't want to do any work. I feel that. Seeing cops as a teen always gave me anxiety, and I would go in the opposite direction whenever I see them. I still do that to this day. Yeah, fuck cops. Absolutely, I agree. Like, the only way I can see anyone liking cops is if you're a rich motherfucker. Like, I really, like, why else would you like cops? Like, I just don't. Why would you? It's just, it's weird. It's not, you know, something a normal person does. Like, it's not normal. It really, like, I'm serious. Like, it is literally, like an unhealthy individual is someone that likes police. Like, that makes you unhealthy. Like we should be, like, you know, like, seriously, like, get a better diet or something. I don't know. Like, it's really fucking strange, though. Like, it's super strange. They're the worst of us. I can agree to that. Fuck cops. All my homies hate cops. The fucking windshield. Like, I literally, like, the idea that is, like, in the article. You know, like, there's very little detail on the life of the person whose life was just ended, but they talk about the motherfucking windshield. You know, I just, like, what? Before transition, I had a cop pull a gun on me in South Florida at 2 a.m. because he thought I was a crack dealer. That's ridiculous. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em, fuck 'em. Alright, so this is something that occurred, I think, like 3 days ago. I've been hurt more than helped by cops. I have never been helped by police ever in my entire life. Like, I'm trying to think of no, they've always just been a net negative every single time. What I took from it, don't be outside in the hood at 2 a.m. because they'll fucking kill you. Yeah, basically. Like, yep. At this point, if I saw a cop with a gun, I might have a heart attack. Yeah. I was beaten up by cops last year. I was beaten up by cops 3 years ago. It's not fun. Believe me, not fun. Alright, so I have got an article here on another interaction with police that occurred. This time between someone who was in the military. And so let's read. Army officer sues Virginia police over violent traffic stop. So I guess I'll play the video.
Police in the small town of Windsor.
Just because, like, this is the news clip or whatever. I really, like, and at this point, I don't like playing videos of, like, people in agony in police interactions because it makes me genuinely extremely uncomfortable. But this is a police a news clip of the interaction, so we'll see how it goes.
Virginia find themselves in the national spotlight tonight. They're being sued by an Army officer who was black and Latino after a traffic stop last December. What happened next was caught on camera. CBS's Christina Ruffini has more.
Get out! Get out the car! Get out now! I have not committed any crime.
In body camera and cell phone video, Army Second Lieutenant Karen Nazario, still in his uniform, keeps his hands visible out the window of his new car, while two Windsor police officers, guns drawn, order him to get out.
I'm honestly afraid to get out.
Yeah, you should be. Get out!
Get out!
Nazario
Now,
repeatedly asked why he
look at like the guy, like, I'm sorry, this cop over here, like this cop, like trying to open the door, like noticing it's locked and then giving up. I'm sorry, like like that's just embarrassing to me.
You should be. Get out.
Took his hands out of view, something really bad would happen.
If you want to watch the full video, you can. Obviously, I don't. Clearly, the most important part of that is I'm afraid to get out of the car. Yeah, you should be. Like, I'm sorry. Send that cop to prison for the rest of their lives. They look relatively old. Let them rot and die in a jail cell. Because what is that indicative of? If this guy is like 50 or 60, because he looks old, right? The guy who says, yeah, you should be, right? What is that indicative of? You get to that age as a police officer. What to me that indicates is you probably have a history of beating the shit out of motherfuckers. You probably have a history of killing people, right? You probably have a history. You probably have a body count in the fucking probably double digits, right? That's what it tells to me, and that's enough for me to send to prison, lock away the key. Like, seriously, protect and serve my fucking stupid fucking asshole. Protect and serve. What? Like, if someone gets out of the car and they're clearly afraid for their lives, even if let's assume they're pretending, this guy's a mass shooter, right? They're a secret terrorist. They got a bomb strapped to their chest because they're black or something, right? So they're obviously a secret terrorist, super soldier, a sleeper cell, like Muslim terrorist or whatever, clearly, right? So I'm obviously like, but even if that's the case, right, if you want to de-escalate the situation, you don't do that. You don't fucking use that kind of language. Like, even if this guy is fucking like Adolf Hitler 2.0, like possessed into another body, which he obviously isn't, right? But even if that's the case, you want to de-escalate the situation, right? I just don't understand in what context it's appropriate in any capacity, in what it's bizarre to me. Anyway.
Yes. So unbuckled his seatbelt to do anything. Any misstep, he was afraid that they were going to kill him.
Attorney Jonathan Arthur is representing Nazario in a lawsuit filed earlier this month against the two officers. The incident report says Nazario was pulled over for not having tags displayed on his SUV. But the temporary dealer plate is visible in the officer's body cam video.
I love it.
Nazario
I love
was
it.
released.
I love it. I love it. Like, okay, so we pulled them over because we're dumb. Oops. So we almost killed this guy because I need to go to an optometrist. What?
Without charge.
What prompted him to file is the need to stop this conduct, the need to hold these two officers accountable and make sure they cannot do it again.
The Windsor Police Department did not respond to CBS News for comment. Christina
Just didn't
Ruffini,
respond.
CBS News.
So according to reports, this guy got fired, I'm pretty sure, according to reports. I don't know about the other guy. But again, a giant fucking disaster. A giant disaster. I don't know why, like, I was going to cover this yesterday, but I didn't want to. And now, as soon as I cover it today, like, I've got so many other, like, similar examples of police brutality here. I hate to make the whole show today about how bad police are, because I know it's a vibe killer, and I honestly appreciate vibe boosters and not killers. But, like, Jesus Christ, bro, like, seriously, like, I need to... I have a lot of videos about police if you're interested in my opinions on other stories from last summer. I personally, as of this current moment in time, I hope that this summer is, especially assuming, let's assume all, eligible people that can get vaccinated, and the pandemic is effectively over by the summer, right? Let's hope for the best. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, right? I hope that there's some, like, significant protest action. Like, I want to see last summer, right, but multiplied by 10 times, right? Because, honestly, there's no excuse at this point, right? Joe Biden's president. What is he going to do, right? I dare him. I double dog dare that motherfucker. Do it. Do it. Like, send out the fucking feds. Do it, bitch. I dare you. Send out the federal police to Portland again every night. I dare you. I know they want to. Come on, Joe. Let's see what happens, right? That's what I think. We need to do mass demonstrations in this country for all kinds of things, not just for police brutality, but we need to do so for a whole host of things. Medicare for all. We need to do it for the Green New Deal. Ending climate change is going to be a huge disaster. We need clean fucking water in this country. We need affordable housing. I think we should have free housing for all people. I think, personally. That's my opinion. I would even go so far as to say repossess mansions and rent them out to hundreds of people that need homes, right? Hey, I'm doing that. I'm down with that. Let's seize some motherfucking mansions from Beverly goddamn Hills and go rent them out. And by rent them out, I mean just give them away for free. That's what we need to do. We need mass demonstrations in this country because shit's fucked up. And, honestly, again, I've been the victim of police brutality several times, like 5 or so that I can think of, and I could probably think of 6 or 7 if I wanted to. But like, I really just don't, like, it's not good. So, that's that. That's that. So I'm going to go through Google News and see if there's anything else I can talk about. And if not, let's get into the Glenn Greenwald. Right? Like, remember Glenn Greenwald blocked me on Twitter? That should be like a fun, like, we can stop talking about how bad cops are and start talking about, like, dumb people. Like, right? Like, come on. We ready for that? Let me get all the appropriate tweets for that real quick. Hate this guy. Yo, Glenn Greenwald is he's not that smart. Like, let's be honest here. He's not the brightest bulb. Pretty dumb. A pretty dumb guy. Oh, I bookmarked one of the tweets, but, like, since he blocked me, it's not appearing in my bookmarks, so that's really funny. Let's see here. I'm looking for it. You should rename the show the Jimmy Dore Bashing Variety Hour. I will not do that. Like, good suggestion, but I will not do that. Yeah, Glenn Greenwald fucking sucks, bro. Like, let's be honest, man. This guy is, like, not good. So, Glenn Greenwald, I don't even know how to start this segment, honestly. So, Glenn Greenwald decided to engage, in some very questionable tactics in the battlefield and the free marketplace of ideas. And we're going to get into him defending Matt Gaetz in a second here. But as you can see, the Glenn Greenwald Gaetz defense just dropped, right? And then we click on the tweet and wait a second. What? I've been censored. That's right, folks. Glenn Greenwald has blocked me on Twitter.com, folks. So just for pointing out that he was defending Matt Gaetz, he got triggered. The guy got into a frenzy of offense. He was so afraid for his safety that he decided to block my free speech on Twitter.com. He decided to censor me. And the reason why that's particularly offensive is because Glenn Greenwald, a month ago, said he would come on my show and discuss transgender sports and transgender kids, right? And also, 4 months ago, he said he would come on my show and discuss transgender issues. He has yet to do so. He even publicly harassed me on Twitter a month ago. But this time around, he decided to block me. That's so sad, right? So what I gotta do here is I gotta bust it out, folks. I know, don't you hate doing this? The incognito mode. That's right, folks. You can't get away from me, Glenn. You can't get away from me, motherfucker. So, let's get into this fucking Matt Gaetz defense, shall we? We're in incognito mode. Like, let's go. We're going in. This is an investigative journalist kind of shit here. I'm opening up a private browser. Like, this is some serious shit. So, due process, adult sexual morality, and the case of Representative Matt Gaetz. What? Now, I want to remind everyone, Glenn Greenwald on his Twitter profile thinks that being blocked by anyone on earth is a sign of the failure of free speech, right? It's a sign that people hate each other and people can't exchange ideas. If he ever gets blocked by anyone, he cries, he cries, he cries, he whines, he whines. Glenn Greenwald is one of those people who hates cancel culture until he's the one doing the canceling. Then it's great. So I want to remind everyone, Glenn Greenwald has also been a lawyer at times defending Nazis. That's right. As a lawyer, he chose to go out of his way to defend Nazis' rights to... Oh, it's just free speech, bro. Just free speech. Anyway, so let's read. Rep. Matt Gaetz is a pedophile, a sex trafficker, an abuser of women who forces them to prostitute themselves and use drugs with him, is a widespread assumption in many media and political circles. Now, he may have Venmo receipts of sending sex traffickers that have admitted to being sex traffickers, that are on tape and being evidenced to be sex traffickers, sending that guy money that guy used to pay off women. That may have happened. But, I mean, due process, bro. Due process, bro. That is true, despite the rather significant fact that not only has he never been charged with, let alone convicted of such crimes, but also no evidence has ever been publicly presented that any of it is true. He has also vehemently denied all of it. All of, or some of these accusations very well may be true, and one day, perhaps imminently, there will be an ample publicly available evidence demonstrating this. Now, I want to remind everyone about Glenn Greenwald and why he's on Substack. You might be thinking, what is this obscure website? Substack? What is that? What is Substack? Look at this. Glenn Greenwald.substack. Why is Glenn Greenwald, founder of The Intercept, on Substack? What happened? Well, he was trying to write an article about how Hunter Biden is a criminal. Yeah, that's right. This guy believed the Hunter Biden laptop from hell conspiracy theory. Remember, that's what they called it. That's what Sean Hannity called it on Fox News. The laptop from hell. Tucker Carlson, right? The laptop from hell. So he didn't get fired. He quit The Intercept because he thought The Intercept was censoring his free speech. Because what did The Intercept do? Well, he had an editor, right? Being a part of a journalistic outlet, you have an editor, right? And that editor was like, so yeah, you kind of said the same thing like 10 times, and you can probably button this up a little bit. And Glenn Greenwald was like, ah! Why have you decided to censor me on this day? I'm Glenn Greenwald and you censored me! Why did you say that my piece was a little bit redundant? How dare you! I've been censored! While he's trying to write a story about Hunter Biden's, like, fucking secret, like, criminal cabal. Right, so I want to remind everyone, Glenn Greenwald is not someone who has any morals. He is not someone who has any convictions. He doesn't give a fuck about anything other than himself. He's a freak show. He's a loser, and he's a crybaby. So let's read more of this. But that day has not yet arrived, and as of now, blah, 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 blah. The article also said the DOJ inquiry is also examining whether Mr. Gaetz had sex with a 17-year-old girl and whether she received anything of material value. Both the New York Times and later the Daily Beast indicated the existence of financial transactions involving payments by Gaetz to his associate Joe Greenberg. It's just his associate. It's just not like he's a best friend or anything and they hang out all the time. No, they're just associates. That's right. They just know each other vaguely. Currently charged with multiple felonies. The New York Times article made clear no charges have been brought against Mr. Gaetz in the extent... It's almost like he's a politician. Is that possible? Wait, you're telling me he's a politician and has a position of power that allows him to basically have more than an average citizen in regards to defense options? Wait, for real? No way! No, it's almost like... And so his best friend... No, not his best friend, his associate, someone he barely knows, who he just happened to send thousands of dollars to on Venmo, barely knows the guy. By the way, the Venmo payment receipt said, this is money for, like, girl you were going to have sex with. And then Joel's Venmo said, oh, I'm going to give this money that he got from Matt Gaetz to someone that he had sex with. Oops, right? It's just an associate, barely knows the guy. But no matter, one is hard-pressed to find people willing to urge that his guilt not be assumed before evidence. Like, what is this guy doing? I'm sorry, like, what is this guy doing? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, seriously, like, do I have to read this whole thing? Like, do I have to oh, he's got a video. Oh, Lord. How long is 30-minute video?
Everyone, this is
Why does he do this? Why does he do these videos, man?
Greenwald, and I haven't been able to
shit.
write much over the last week, as you know, because my book was debuting on Tuesday, and I've had tons of interviews associated.
So this guy has got a book now, and he couldn't write. Oh, so sad. So sad. So we got a video here.
Talking about it. Hopefully this upcoming week, I will have ample time to return to something resembling a regular writing.
I'm not going to watch this whole thing, just so you know.
The unfolding scandal involving Congressman Matt Gaetz, the Republican House member from Florida, because I think it raises some very important and very fascinating questions about a whole variety of topics, including how we think about due process and the assumption.
Again, it's just questions. Like, Glenn Greenwald just got some questions. Like, when it comes to whether or not bisexual people should be allowed to claim being bisexual if they're not currently fucking someone of the same sex, right? So, in order to be bisexual, you need to be gay. In Glenn Greenwald's world. Remember that. He made a video. He made a 30-minute video that said if you are bisexual, you have to actually be gay. There is no bisexuality. If you are bisexual and in a relationship with someone who is a different gender than yourself, sorry, you're not a real bisexual because you're not gay. You have to be in a relationship with the same gender, but then also say you like other genders in order to qualify for bisexuality. He's just asking. He that's not what he believes, though. He's just asking questions. Why are so many bisexuals not in right now fucking people of the same gender? Why is that? Why aren't they like, oh, you're posting on Twitter that you're bi, but are you currently, like, right as you're posting, like, having sexual intercourse with someone of the same gender? If not, you're not really bi. You're fake. You're not real. And he also said the same thing about trans people. So this is a defense that people who are knowing that they're saying awful garbage, but saying it anyway, love to bring out. I'm just asking questions, bro. Just questions. I'm just, 2 plus 2, it could equal 5. It could. Just asking questions. I mean, what?
About left-wing and libertarian conceptions of morality and how some of those issues have evolved and changed over time, and how it is that we think about the principle of consensual private adult behavior and how that too has changed over time. So obviously this is a very sensitive.
Now again, the article is alleging that this guy is having sex, the investigation is alleging that this guy is having sex or associating with people and paying them to have sex with 17-year-olds. Now, like, again, let's assume they are 18, right? Let's assume every single one of them is 18. Like, they just turned 18. Amazing. Consensual. Perfect. Now, isn't it a little weird? Right? Okay. Now, maybe it's just, part of the job. You're a member of Congress and you're single, so you get to, have sex with anyone you want. Who cares if they just turned 18? Right? I say that maybe that's a little questionable. Right? I say that maybe there's a power dynamic that needs to be explored there. Hey! That's just me, though. That's just me. Just asking questions. I'm just asking questions, right? But the idea that Matt Gaetz has a friend, no, just an associate, rather, who has been charged with being involved with sex trafficking in people under the age of 18, and he pays that guy, it's possible Matt Gaetz was like, only send me the 18-year-olds, right? I don't want to be a pedophile here. Only send me the 18-year-olds. It's possible. Sure, it's possible. Right, but at the same time, that has no bearing on whether or not these people were trafficked. There are a lot of people that get caught in sex trafficking rings under the age of 18 and then become 18 and still are caught in those networks. That's a thing. But Glenn Greenwald's just asking questions.
Simply afraid to talk about it because the minute you do anything other than scream pedophile at Matt Gaetz, you yourself will be called either a pedophile or somebody who has sympathy for pedophilia, and I generally don't speak to people who are engaged in that kind of muck, and I don't intend to now. So I do want to begin by talking just about the facts of what we actually know and what we don't know, and it should go without saying, I know it doesn't, that I'm not defending.
Now again, Glenn Greenwald rage quit like a child, like a 3-year-old, like a literal toddler, like who didn't get like, like the square peg in the round hole. This guy rage quit the publication that he founded because he wanted to write a story that was based on no evidence. The laptop from hell. Well, the laptop could have had something bad on it, therefore Hunter Biden's a criminal. What? It could have had something bad. We don't know. So therefore Hunter Biden's a criminal. That's what Glenn Greenwald said, and then rage quit The Intercept because they said, you keep saying Hunter's guilty, but he's not. And then, you keep saying that. Maybe you can, tuddy it up a little bit. No! But right now, it's all of a sudden, it's, due process. Just asking questions all of a sudden.
And I'm here to argue that he did nothing wrong precisely because the evidence relevant to that question has not been publicly presented, either in a judicial proceeding or even publicly. There are a lot of allegations swirling around, but because there's no evidence, it would be irrational to make assumptions one way or the other about whether one believes that he did things like had sex with women under the age of 18, whether that was illegal, whether he paid women for sex, whether he used drugs with them or alone. There's no evidence on any of those questions. Obviously, there may be one day when there's a mountain of indisputable evidence proving that all or some of those allegations are true, but that is not yet the case. None of that evidence has been presented, and therefore nothing I'm talking about has anything to do with my views on whether he will ultimately be determined to be guilty of these allegations because that evidence is not available. So let me just talk about what is known. I think it's very important to remember that this story broke on March 30th, when the New York Times published an article that did not report that Congressman Gates, has been charged with, let alone convicted of, any crimes. They reported that there was an investigation ongoing to determine whether he has committed any crimes. This is what that article says, and there's been almost nothing in the way of evidence that has emerged since this article. This is pretty much the universe of what we know. There's a little bit that has emerged, and I'll talk about that. But
Wait, so you're telling me the New York Times wrote an article about something without evidence? Wow. Never heard of Glenn Greenwald doing that before, right? I've never heard of him rage quitting The Intercept because he wanted to do an article about that. Again, it's just so weird. Like, he's turning Matt Gaetz into some, like, bizarre, like, the left sucks kind of a thing. Like, what? Like, are there any leftists that are actually saying drugs are bad because Matt Gaetz used drugs? Hell no. Drugs are awesome. I love drugs. In fact, I do drugs almost on a daily basis, right? I don't care if Matt Gaetz also loves drugs. That is not, like, who cares, right? Is sex work a problem because Matt Gaetz engaged in it? No! The problem here is that it's not necessarily sex work if someone is fucking compelled to do so at gunpoint. That's what sex trafficking is. You have motherfuckers out there that literally hold people hostage, right? And say that they will, like, kill their family or they'll inflict bodily damage to them if they try to escape, if they try to contact the police or whatever. That's called sex trafficking. That is a significantly different fucking thing compared to having sex with an 18-year-old. If a 50-year-old wants to have, and the 18-year-old, more importantly, wants to have sex and they do it consensually, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, right? But if that 18-year-old is in a fucking sex trafficking ring, that changes the whole fucking goddamn calculation. Right, but Glenn Greenwald doesn't care about
this is more or less the full extent of what is known about Congressman Gaetz in this matter. Quote, a Justice Department investigation into Representative Matt Gaetz and an indicted Florida politician is focusing on their involvement with multiple women who were recruited online for sex and received cash payments, according to people close to the investigation and text messages and payment receipts reviewed by the New York Times. The Justice Department inquiry is also examining whether Mr. Gaetz had sex with a 17-year-old girl and whether she received anything of material value, according to 4 people familiar with the investigation. The New York Times article noted, quite importantly, quote, no charges have been brought against Mr. Gaetz, and the extent of his criminal exposure is unclear. So I think it's extremely important to note that he has not been charged with any crimes, let alone convicted, nor has any evidence pertaining to the veracity of these potential allegations been publicly presented. And yet what we find is that the way many people in the media are discussing this case, and the way many even leading politicians who have animosity towards him are doing so, is exactly the opposite. They're asserting that there are charges against him. Let me share with you this video clip shared by the Vox video dunce Aaron Ruper about Liz Cheney, the new liberal hero and icon, on Face the Nation this morning. Here is what Congressman Cheney said when asked about...
Yo. Okay. I know Glenn's a boomer. Folks, I know Glenn Greenwald's a boomer. By the way, Glenn, when you unblock me on Twitter. But there's no way I'm about to watch what I'm about to watch. There's no way. Like, I don't believe this. Like, what he's doing right now, like the actions, like it would be like if I were to get like a video on my phone. Like, yeah, sure, I'm streaming my desktop, right? But like, it would be like if I were to get a video on my phone and then just show you, like, you know, what the video is. What? Like, on my phone? Like, I don't know. Like, what is he doing here?
Liberal hero and icon on Face the Nation this morning. Here is what
he's putting up the laptop.
Cheney said when asked about this matter.
What are you doing, Glenn? Glenn, no! This is like, what is this? Hey! The audio is so bad, bro, Glenn, if you need an editor, I got you. Unblock me, I'll edit for you. Come on, man, I hate you. Like, I literally think you're an awful person. But that being said, like, I will edit your videos for you, so this is less embarrassing. Oh my god. And it's barely audible. This is barely audible. Hold up. Sorry, folks. You gotta turn the volume way up. You can't hear that. It's inaudible. What are you doing, Glenn? What are you doing? I can't watch this. I'm sorry. This video is over. I can't. This is, at this point, I feel like I'm picking. I can't even say that. I really, like, this is really bad. I can't watch this. I'm sorry. This again. I'm serious. Like, what is this? Like, you expect me to take you seriously? Like, that's something that you think that you can make a video and look like a professional when you do that? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, and that's the thing, if I were to do that as part of like a comedy routine, that's one thing, but this guy is seriously trying to hold up his fucking laptop to the goddamn screen, and like, the microphone is nowhere near the speaker, so you can't fucking hear it at all, right? It's bizarre, it's strange, it's out of this world, and honestly, to be honest, I'm going to, I think at this point, like I said earlier, Glenn Greenwald refused. He refused to respond to my email after already responding to my email, saying he would come on my show. He said he would come on my show to discuss trans people and whether or not they should be allowed to live, because he personally thinks that trans people shouldn't be allowed to live. I think that I should be allowed to live personally. Like, it's just on a personal... I personally think that I should be allowed to live without anyone telling me otherwise. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to send him an email, I think, and ask him, like, yo, I saw you blocked me on Twitter. Like, I saw that. That was weird. Like, why did you block me on Twitter? That's strange, right? So I'm gonna send him an email about that. Right now, actually. But again, it's just like this guy is like obsession with like due process and obsession with like just all these things that he doesn't himself follow the rules of is like really bizarre to me. And that's the thing about it. Like, if I believe due process was my number one thing and I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, I wouldn't be talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. I just wouldn't. That's not something I would do. I would not do that. So I don't know, man. The guy is just, he's not bright. He's not bright. I have nothing else to say. Actually, I do. I have one more thing to say. In the words of Glenn Greenwald's favorite president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Oh, and that's that. That is indeed that. So my email is not loading for whatever reason. Like, just the server is not functioning. So I'll have to do this later. So I'll email him later. But hopefully you enjoyed that segment, because I did. I enjoyed that segment. I thought it was pretty good. So that's it. Glenn Greenwald is the J.K. Rowling of journalism. I would say he's more like the Glinner of journalism, for sure, as Mr. Freak in the chat is describing. Irish comedy writer Graham Linehan, who is super popular, but for the last 5 years or so has spiraled into outright transphobia, conspiracy theories, etc., ended up being banned from Twitter, other websites. His wife left him, and now he's a small man ranting to a dwindling audience of bigots. Just wait until Glenn gets a divorce. That's going to be great. I literally can't with the goddamn, like, him holding the laptop up to the, I can't. I can't take anything he says seriously at that point. It's just not something I'm capable of. It's like, to be 100% honest with you, I'm not capable. So, just throwing that out there. It's just a retweet, bro, you know? Reminder, Linehan's show Father Ted is one of the funniest TV shows of all time. I doubt that, to be honest. Also, reminder, Glinner cried to the House of Lords about his Twitter ban and divorce. Imagine crying to the House of Lords, I got a divorce! I bloody said that trans women aren't real, I got a divorce! Oh, bloody hellfire! In my own personal Twitter news, I just hit 3,000 followers. Oh shit! Yo, you have more followers than me. What the fuck? Give me some. Come on, retweet me, Mila. I'm just joking. I say I'm just joking as a way to make it seem like I'm not a selfish piece of shit, when in reality...
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. You're not like...
I don't take a position. Oh man, I just like retweeted Vaush, and I'm gonna like have to post that Trump clip later when a follower inevitably tries to cancel me for retweeting Vaush. By the way, Vaush had a good take on this. Same thing about what I said about the Hunter Biden laptop. Start calling him Glenner now. I might actually. That's pretty funny. I might actually do that. That's like really fucking funny. Fucking Glenner. But anyway, that's basically my show for today. I love the juxtaposition of I need more Twitter followers and I just retweeted. Well, I'm canceled. Your fake British accent cracks me up. I just stopped playing video games. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Glenner is a good one. Fucking Glenner, man. But anyway, that's the show for today, and that's it. Like, that's it. So, do you have anything else to say, folks? Glad I didn't miss the entire show. Me too. Me too. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? I might be going on an excursion today, so that's the reason why I'm going to end the show like in the next 2 minutes. But I'll keep y'all posted. Anyone know how Ecuador's elections are looking? I don't. I'm sorry. I would love to know though if someone wants to give me more information. I have a lot less now because you mentioned Vaush, but still love you. I don't know why people hate him, honestly. I know why I hate him, and it's because he won't respond to my request for a debate. Like, he keeps pretending that he's like this king debater. He's king in the castle. He debates anyone. I send him a request for a debate. He doesn't fucking answer me. He doesn't respond. Like, I don't know. The guy's a little bit of a freak show, but he had a good point, so what are you gonna do? Enjoy your excursion? I won't, but thank you. Anyway, but yeah, so that's it. That's all, and that's everything. So, that's it. Vaush looks like he just does like debate bro shit. I mean, it's funny for sure, but like that's not my style. What would I debate Vaush about? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I figured if he responded, I would come up with something, but he never responded, so I never had to get that far. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, I don't know, I'll debate him on why he's a fucking stinky poo-poo head or something. But yeah, thank you for watching. That's it. That's all. Goodbye. That's it. There's literally nothing else. I know you're freaking out right now because the stream is over, but like, there is no stream, so don't even think about the stream because it's not that it's over. It's just it never existed. There was never a stream. Goodbye.
So stupid. So stupid. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.